Hello and welcome to Demigods PbtA. This is a game that's in playtest from Jason Mills, uh, and it's kind of like Scion, if you've seen that RPG, as it uses powered by the Apocalypse engine, which is 2d6, and it's got moves and stats and stuff. It's a game, and everyone is playing the children or the scions or the inheritors of different pantheons, multitude of different pantheons, pantheistic idea, and only demigods can kind of exist in the modern day. Gods themselves, when they come down, big trouble happens. Tsunamis, sequels to Ghostbusters that don't go terribly well. Things that could have been better, but maybe weren't, and things that were actually good. I don't know why I went off on a tangent on Ghostbusters. I actually liked the movie. It's just the first example I could think of. So we are currently, we have all of our returning players, and then we have one new player that's joining us. Gio, do you want to give us a quick rundown of your muse?
Yes. So my name is Giovanni. I am playing the Muse. My character's name is Lux Amato. They are a child of Venus in the Roman pantheon. They just found out about this just over a year ago, so they're pretty new to this whole demigod thing. They're very much a people person. They know how to maneuver around social situations, and they're just like really, really good at that. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. All right. Now, our setting is Minnesota. It's actually specifically St. Paul University and Northwestern. Why? I have a cool virtual tour thing and a nice map and stuff like that. I happen to be good buddies with somebody who works there, and they fed me some cool stuff. And I'm like, this looks neat. Let's use this. And that's it. It's very loose as far as how things are, because Rich hasn't attended Northwestern. So I'll just go from, it's going to be Northwestern through the lens of East Tennessee State University. So yeah, I'm sorry. That's where I went. So here's what happened in the last session. Very brief reminders. You guys started off at the library because Gage, your spindle, who's the mortal, who's kind of intertwined with all of your demigods, crazy demigod fates, she had trouble sleeping and revealed to you guys that this blanket had shown up, and she thinks she wove it. It had a bunch of lewd pictures and weird stuff on it. And after a little bit of research, you guys found a spider in her ear, which you stabbed with a knife, a cool Swiss Army knife, and then brought back to life, because that's a thing you can do. You figured out that this is related to Arachne, who was a mortal of ancient Greece, who was an amazing weaver and challenged Athena to a weaving duel, and probably won, except the stuff that she wove was making fun of the gods' excesses, mostly Hades and Zeus, and the fact that they turn into animals and have sex with women, and that's really weird. And Athena said, find that, I'm going to X-cart that, and then turned her into a spider. And that lets me segue into what the X card is. So as we play this game, we have a safety tool. I didn't tell you guys about this last week, and I am a terrible GM for having missed this, because safety tools are a very important part of having a healthy and happy game. So X card is what we will use here. And let me briefly explain. If there is, I don't have your lived experience, and there could be something that causes you anxiety or discomfort, or may cause you to kind of pull back from the enjoyment of the game. And I'm going to go forward with like the full faith of having a good time with the best possible intentions. But if I start to trip on something that bothers you, all you need to do is you can make an X, or on the roll for your party link, there's an X card thing. You can hit that, and it'll ask, like, pop up, what's the subject material. You can type that in there. It'll come through anonymously. You can mention that in the chat in our video hangout window. Number of different ways. I'll be do my best to be cognizant of all of those. What we're going to do at that point is just briefly pause. I'm not going to challenge what you've X carded, but I will ask a question so we can understand what it is. And then we've got 6 brilliant, beautiful minds. I guarantee you we'll find something else that we can do with that. We'll move around it and continue forward, right? Or if we need to take a break and talk it through, we can do that too. Your safety is much more important than this game. To give an example of an X card that's happened in the past, I was running a game called Belly of the Beast. This is from Ben Dutter. And in it, you play fantasy folks that are in a village that's in the belly of like a Tarrasque. It's crazy high concept stuff. And I had mentioned offhandedly, what do you guys use as a medium of exchange? And I threw out teeth. Do you guys trade teeth? Because I thought, okay, it's all like bio stuff. And one of the players, Lowell, who is the best GM, he's the best, he X-carded me real hard. He said, Rich, got a thing with teeth, no teeth. And I said, cool, no problem. We pulled back and we had a brief conversation, and they decided it would be more interesting if we stuck similar to that theme, but went with fingernails. And I thought, fingernails? But yes, fingernails became the economy in that Belly of the Beast game, which allowed me to make a really bad joke about a grandmother who just sat in her little room and just grew her fingernails to make money for the family. I don't know why that tickled me to know. Now, the last thing I'll say about X-Card, and this one's kind of important to me personally, if we start to touch on something that could bother you, but you're like, it's cool, I can let it go, and you make that choice, that's fine, I've done that. But if at a point it just starts to really get to you, just because you didn't X-card it right at the top does not mean you've invalidated the ability to X-card something, okay? Because I've done it in the past where like something was like, oh, this is a little dicey, and I let it go, and then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, this is really making my tummy flip-flop, and I'll X-card. There was a person who randomly named an NPC, and it just turned out to be their name. I'm dumb that way. Like I forget things and then I think that I thought of it, but actually it's like I was looking down and saw their name probably. And the guy was like, it's no big deal. And then it turned out the guy was the NPC was kind of a slime ball. And he said, actually, let's just X-card that. I grabbed my amazing story games names project book and we got a very flavorful name that was super awesome. And we moved on. So there's no harm, no foul. We're all making it up as we go anyway, right? So that's the X-card as a safety tool. You guys are down in the basement. You figured out that Arachne is somehow involved. And as you were looking at that, our artisan was like, oh, this is a super amazing blanket. Let's keep it. Then a fire broke out and the blanket started to burn up. Sprinklers came on. People started to evacuate the D&D table that was right near you guys. Those guys all picked up, grabbed their Cheetos and their Mountain Dews, and they started to book it. And then the campus security with guns, not a normal thing for Northwestern, show up. Our amazing trickster did the cool finger guns, teleportation, popped over, snagged a gun, a sidearm, not a revolver, a sidearm from one of the guards, popped back, handed it to Jacqueline, and then Jacqueline standing there with the gun, the hand raise. Is there a thing, Alexi? Okay,
I'm just getting ready.
Like, I thought you were like, wait, Rich, you're wrong. And I'm like, oh, but I just watched this. Anyway, I thought I had it. I took notes. And so there's a gun in Jacqueline's hand, and the other 3 guards all are like, scream, gun! And they start drawing out. So we've got sprinklers that are cascading water down, like a little slow-mo moment of like all the water bouncing off of the wooden tables. And we do a little bullet time for these guys all drawing out their guns. And the 4 of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of you plus Gage are all there as they are trying to draw weapons. Jacqueline, you have your gun. It just so happens that Lux, with all the luck that they have, Lux, you heard the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
And why did you decide to come to? You're not a firefighter. Why did you come into the library with the alarm going off?
I think I had a gut feeling like it's different. Hmm. It's different than like a typical sort of like, oh, I should probably go in there despite the big old alarms. It felt um it felt almost like a premonition, like,
Mm.
oh, I need to go in there. And just based on all the weird spooky demigod shit that's been going on,
Mm-hmm.
I've been trusting my gut more and more recently. So
Cool. Careful, you can put on weight, and that'll hurt your modeling gig. All right. Awesome. So yeah, you are just walking in. Now, though I hadn't done a great deal of like scene setting, but the way that I imagined a layout for this basement area is there's a long hallway, and there will be some like things of study, right, that are along one of the walls, and then glass windows or plexiglass windows that look into the study area, and then the study area is just a long hall, effectively, with a bunch of tables that are set in, and you can set up on all those tables. And those your friends, your band, your woven band, are all there with Gage, and you see the security guard. So you're witnessing this. And so we'll bring you in, but we like have a few moments of they're going down the set of concrete stairs as some D&D guys are passing by, and one guy drops a couple of his miniatures. He curses heavily. I just painted this guy, and he's gathering it up and carrying it very carefully in like some velvet or something, and then you come down and you see the crazy showdown that's about to happen. So let's swing back in to our woven band who are with Gage. You've got the gun, Jacqueline.
I do.
So what happens when they scream gun and start to point it at you?
I think we see Jacqueline kind of deliberately hold the gun in a ineffective way. Like she's just dangling it from her finger, and she says, "Gentlemen, if you know anything about what's going on here, you know I don't need to use this to end you."
Whoa. Nice. Okay, that is pretty terrifying.
That related to your Justicar move?
I mean,
sorry, I'm
just kind of.
No, it's a great question.
Yeah, so that's a Reaper move when I can look at people to determine their guilt in something. I don't.
Or their deepest regret. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of playing on that type of. I'm sorry.
It is playing in that a little. I'm not sure if I know yet what matter I would be investigating their guilt in.
That's true. Well, let's say that's a nice potential startup to what could be some problems here for you. But are you? I'm wondering. Are they wise enough to know what's up? I don't think these guys at this point have enough wherewithal with they don't know who you are. You could tell that they don't. And so they're aiming their guns at you, and they're just going to fire unless somebody does something.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll try to sway them.
Okay.
let's do things nicely first, right? And she's like, I'm being generous and giving you a warning. You want to put those down. And she demonstrates by putting down her gun on the table.
Oh, nice. That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. So because of the situation, I'm going to give you a -1 forward on this roll.
Okay.
But you can still roll to attempt to sway them. Good luck.
Yeah, let me try it. What's my awe? My awe is 1. Okay, so it turns out to be just a flat roll. That's an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so with a sway someone on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but they demand some kind of price. And so what they say, it's like they raise the guns a little bit, but they say, we need to talk to that girl. This will be the guy who doesn't have the gun, right? He points right at Gage.
Hmm.
Can I be doing something while this interaction is occurring?
Absolutely. What is it that Barnes is doing?
Barnes heads back to where the guards are, like behind the far back guards. Turns into how big are lemurs? Like a little lemur.
Holy
Like
crap.
little-
I will Google that. I don't know.
Okay, no, you don't need to Google it. Just like a little monkey. Okay, he turns into like a little monkey and starts tying their shoelaces together.
Lemurs are like 5 pounds, so I think they're tiny. Yeah, a monkey's probably a good way to go. You're going to start tying their shoelaces together? That's crazy. I adore this. I think you need to perform under pressure. They are distracted, which is why you might have a chance of pulling it off.
Yeah.
Unless you have a specific move as a trickster. Which, leaving
I
the
have
scene-
nothing to see here when leaving the scene for your initial hijinks. People
Yeah,
don't
and then you
notice.
got jumper, and then you mean this gate key. So I don't think you have any moves that would specifically help you here. So let's go ahead and have you perform under pressure. Now, Jody, I'm really curious. What? Somebody just posted a screed of random letters and numbers. Okay.
I was attempting to share a lemur image, and I clearly failed.
Hashtag fail.
What did I rolled under pressure? What is that?
That is with metal, METTLE. And your metal
I
is...
rolled like an amazing 6.
You rolled a 6. You have a 1 of metal, so does that mean you got a 7?
I'm sorry, no, I got it. A total of 6.
A total of 6. Awesome. Is anyone going to help Barnes, or shall we allow him to fail?
Could it be at this point that I come in?
That could be a thing.
Yeah, because I'm a pretty distracting person, and due to the fact that everyone kind of at base level first impression, I have a positive interaction with, or a positive first impression with, I should say. Maybe I come in and like, oh my god, what's going on? And like instantly, they're distracted enough that it works. So,
nice. Cool. So why don't you roll? I understand the fiction, but I still want to put the help an ally to the table. So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus your tangles. You should have 1 tangle with Barnes.
Absolutely.
So 2d6 plus 1. By the way, just as a reminder, because this is different from any other PbtA game, you get an XP for rolling doubles.
Okay.
And then each playbook has a few specific, I believe it's 4 different specific triggers where you can get an XP, which is called a thread, once per session. And I put checkboxes by those just so you can keep track of those.
Cool. Okay, so I rolled, I'm not sure which dice are mine. Some of these have names by them. I think I rolled a 3 and a 4, so I think I rolled
I think you did too.
Yeah.
A 3 and a 4 plus 1 is an 8.
So on a 7
on
to
a
9,
7 to 9, you give a plus 1 to someone.
Awesome.
So that pushes you to a 7 on attempting to Barnes on attempting to perform under pressure. There's a complication. You choose one from the list. Do you take 1 harm? Does it take longer than it should? Something breaks, or the result is only partially effective?
I don't know if I should go with it takes longer than it should, or the result is only partially effective.
Okay.
How many guards were you trying to tie the shoelaces of?
3. Yeah, so this takes longer than it should.
Yeah, like maybe it takes until like
it gives Jody a chance or Diego a chance to do a little something. So you walk in, Lux. Everybody knows Lux is here. Gage turns around. Jody, you hear like a sharp intake of breath from Gage. And that's not good. And but Jody, you know that Barnes is monkeying around. So I couldn't resist. I'm weak in the face.
Never resist your parentness.
But anyway, Jody, they aren't immediately shooting at anyone. They want Gage.
Right.
What do you do?
So like I do have a move that would be really effective here. It also would kind of escalate things. So,
Do it.
That's
Do
an
it.
elemental. Isn't that what you do?
yeah, I'm just kind of
Escalate
like waiting
things.
for what would happen, right? And like, okay, if they put the gun down, then we don't have to worry about it. But like, no, things are not getting better necessarily. They're just getting different. So yeah, I have this move called Swipe Left that's rolls 2d6 plus prowess to fling a small group of enemies out of your way.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna like, that window is still open, and there's just gonna this really freak wind is just gonna come through the window and just push them back out of the way and knock
This
them
makes
over.
me happy. Roll plus prowess. You have a 2 in prowess.
If I don't screw this up, that's what happens.
Wow. Sure, fun stuff will happen even if you do roll poorly.
So, are you blowing them totally out of the scene?
We'll see. No, I'm not. That's a 5.
Oh no. So wait, you're blowing them through the door that I am standing in the doorway of, right?
Yeah, I can imagine how this goes wrong.
Yeah, no.
Sweet. So, first of all, you can go ahead and mark your XP for causing collateral damage, Jody. So you swipe left, and the wind picks up say 2 of the guys. Just a sudden wind, just a gust, picks them up, throws them, slams into you. Lux bowls you over. They go spilling out into the corridor. The other 2 are the guys that you just finished shoelace tying, Barnes. So one of them tries to run around to help his buddy, falls. His head hits the side of the table and he falls over. The other guy is now it's like got his gun and he's not sure exactly what just happened, but he is definitely freaked out and he starts shooting at people.
No. Do I sense that the guy who hit his head on the table is dead?
Oh, yes, you do.
Great. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have some questions for him in a minute then.
Sweet. Yes. Cool. So there's some firing, and you are going to take 1 harm, Jody, because he is firing wildly, and he hits you, and now he's aiming at Gage. So I haven't heard anything from Diego. What are you doing?
Jesse, I think your mic's not working.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great.
We've been talking all this time, and I didn't hear you recognize.
No, I was not talking all this time.
Okay, good.
My kind of image of Diego in this moment is like, this is not a situation he is familiar with. Like the idea of having guns pointed at him is like baffling and terrifying. And I think that sort of like the results of the gust of wind and the guy falling, like all of it sort of like snapped him out of this like shock. And sorry, I know you just said this a second ago, and
it's okay.
In one ear and out the other. Is the guy still pointing at Gage?
Yes. So we have 1 security guard who's pointing a gun at Gage, 1 guy who's fallen down, 2 who've flown on top of Lux. So that's the positioning of things right now.
Right. So I think what I want to do is just like drop my skateboard, get low to the ground, and like shove myself into the guy's legs.
That's awesome.
Right.
I think you're trying to smite your enemies.
Sure. I was a little bit hoping that would be act under perform under
pressure.
But I'll take that as like I'm not trying to do harm. I'm trying to just like I guess that's within the realm of smite your enemies too. So yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
2d6 plus prowess, and my prowess is terrible. I I hope my power. Yeah, I was not. Reroll selected. That is a 5 plus 0 is a 5.
Okay. That is not successful.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it is not. So here's what happens. First, he shoots at you, Jody. It's like a glazing wound. It's just one harm. Your demigod is a thing that's annoying. Then it shoots Gage. Then you run into him, Diego. Knock him back. He slams into a table. And he's going to grab you and throw you down to the ground. And he puts a gun right in your face.
Oh, shoot.
He hasn't pulled the trigger yet. But the thing that you notice in that moment, Diego, is that his badge is not Northwestern. It's got his name, a number on it, and the whole thing is an owl.
Oh, that is sweet. So, can I grab the butt of grab that gun and concentrate?
Yes. What do you want to do? This sounds amazing. What are you doing?
Right. So I think. Sorry, I've got the gremlin's move. Right. Any
yes.
Focus to make sure it never works properly again. And like, I think what I'm doing is I'm just sort of like, I don't understand chemistry. I don't understand combustion.
You and Smoke, you guys get along.
Neither does Diego. But like, I think I'm somehow or another like sapping, like pulling some important chemical piece. No, because it's the gun, it's not the bullets. I think I'm just like gumming up the mechanics.
Sweet. So you guys all see this, except Lux. You're busy, like being knocked over. Sorry,
I'm trying to extricate myself from that.
We will definitely deal with that very next. Like he sticks that gun in your face, and you grab it, and then he starts pulling the trigger, and you just hear it click, 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 and the gun never goes off. That is amazing. I'm going to give you an XP for being epic. That is great, and that's one of the things you can get XP for. I love that.
Rich,
yes.
Important question. Did Gage get hit by a bullet?
Gage got hit by a bullet.
All right. I have something for this when you're ready to cut back to this.
We'll cut right back to you as soon as we deal with Lux. So Lux, two guys got flung into you. You know it was Jody's fault because you're learning this whole godly, demigodly thing, and she's just good at this swipe left deal. Anyway, they tumble into you. One guy, his hand is like on your chest, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He tries to roll off. The other guy, he tries to do this like tumble forward, like SWAT team thing, but then when he gets up, his laces are tied, and he like slams into the wall. And there you are. What do you do?
So I'm assuming that I heard Gage get shot.
You heard? Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, like so I rush in, and you know, I think this is probably like a second after the gun fails to go off, and so I'm like running over to Gage, and like I take a handkerchief out of the suit coat that I'm wearing, the blazer that I'm wearing, and press it against the wound, waiting for her to say something.
Nice. I think there's probably just a moment of like, Lux, hey. She falls into a little bit over, slumps into a chair.
Yeah. I ask, is there a hospital nearby? Is there a
yeah, you're in St. Paul. You're not far from a hospital.
Yeah. Will someone help me carry her?
Hold on.
I do.
Are you guys working on kind of like trying to lift Gage up?
Yeah.
I'm trying to lift her up. Lex can help me.
I think Jacqueline kind of appears at Gage's shoulder.
Yes.
And it's like, Gage, 105 people die every minute, but one of them's not going to be you. And I want to bend fate.
Ooh.
Because one of the options on that is pushing a gift beyond its normal limits. Because I'll like tell you my plan here is to check off a bunch of my things, because I get a thing for saving a life and I get a thing for ending a life, and my plan is to bend fate so that my Kopesh can do those at one fell swoop.
Insane. This is great. I love this. So while they're trying to help her up, you're playing on Kopesh giant sword. And what are you doing with the sword? Sounds fascinating.
I think as it like emerges from the shadows, right? Like it kind of coalesces out of the shadows around us, and Jacqueline puts her hand on it and says, kind of like whispering to the sword, "Death must have his day, but I am the Reaper." And I'm going to roll
2d6 plus weird.
Yeah. So that's a 7 plus my weird is I think my weird is 1, so that's an 8, where I choose one boon and one bane.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna take the boon of a gift is pushed beyond its normal limits, and the bane of take one harm, because I think like as I like run my hand down my own weapon, like we see like a drop of blood falling from Jacqueline's hand and kind of being like absorbed into the darkness of the Kopesh.
Wow. Kopesh sounds so wicked. That is really cool. So you were pushing a gift beyond its normal limits, the gift of your epic weapon, and
I want to push it. Yeah, so I'm picturing here that by pushing it beyond its normal limits, I can use it to just kind of take death away from someone and redirect it to someone else.
Oh God, that sounds amazing. Who are you deathing?
The single remaining guard we've got here, right?
God, yes. Oh
so,
man,
because like Gage has been hit, I'm going to reap that death away from her and onto the one responsible.
Sweet. Okay, so this is the guy that has the now no longer working gun that was shoved into Diego's face. He's
still standing over a kid, pulling a trigger. So
yes, absolutely. Hey, not saying he's innocent, just trying to make sure I know which of the four is now dead. Yeah, he just falls on top of you, Diego.
And then like Jacqueline just kind of exhales.
Nice. And Gage says, "Ow."
I think at this
You'll
point,
be all right in a moment, Gage.
I think at this point, oh shoot, Alejandro, Barnes. I think at this point, Barnes and I are still like trying to like help Gage the best. Like we're both still trying to like. No, I'll get her head. No, you get her. Like you get her legs. No, I'll get her head. Like,
nice. Yeah. That is great. So, are you guys good if we like cut scene here and like pick up somewhere else new?
Can I check save a life, end a life, and make morbid remarks?
Yes. Oh, 100% the morbid remarks, and then you with your crazy move interpretation, saving a life and ending a life. Yeah, that's great. That was a nice threefer.
Does that also do something epic? Because that felt pretty.
You know what it is? Really? I was like, should I do epic? Are we tapping that bar too many times? No, we're not. That was good.
I will take it. Thank you.
All right. Leveled up.
Can I suggest a new location for us to cut to?
Yes.
So given that like Gage is clearly being pursued by somebody, and I have this workshop which has the hidden tag. Now it's weird. It's got both the hidden tag and the customers might supernatural customers may show up. So I'm not quite sure how those are going to interact. But you
It's
know,
hidden from the non-supernatural.
yeah, it's hidden from the people that hopefully hopefully it's hidden from the people who I don't want to find it. But I don't know. Anyways, that might be like a good place to run to.
Cool. Let's just pick up with you guys coming in. You're still dripping wet from the sprinkler system. I imagine that the workshop isn't far from campus, right? So however it is that you guys get there, you bring Gage in. She's still a little bloody. She got hit in her shoulder, right? And you saved her life, but she's still wounded. She's still hurt. And all 5 of you are there. So I'm curious, Diego, what does this workshop look like as everybody comes rushing into it?
So I think it's like kind of a big basement, like a single room in a basement. Concrete walls and floor, sort of like slot windows up near the top. It's like pretty far underground. And with just like the very top above the floor level, fluorescent lighting, just like covered in tables that are full of crap. It's a mess. And like there are some like utility drawers around the walls and the side, and then like 3 or 4 large tables sort of dominant, or work tables sort of dominate the space, with like all kinds of like electronics equipment and tools. There may be like one small neat area in the corner where you can see where like the fine work gets done, and there are sort of both circuit boards and maybe like, I don't know, semiconductors, like stuff around there, and also like a few like little pieces of jewelry that I've kind of been tinkering with also, like small pieces. Yeah, I think that's sort of the look, and I think if you're cool with this, I think I like as I'm walking in, I like go to a specific drawer, like pull it open, look at it, close it, pull open another one, like quickly walk over to the grab something, walk over to that like little workspace, do like a little thing. All of this takes like 30 seconds, and then I toss something that like looks like a 2 generations old smartphone to Jacqueline.
It's like a Nokia candy bar phone.
Something like that. And I say like, here, I know the other one's busted, but this one might work better for you.
Thanks, Diego. Jacqueline like takes it, but she looks visibly uncomfortable with being in this space because she, of course, has foreseen that Diego's death will be caused by something that he creates.
Oh yeah.
So she's definitely like looking nervously around to see like what he's working on.
Right. There's also one wall that's completely dominated by something covered by a tarp, like a drop sheet that like
That's so good.
That's the first place I go, and then.
Barnes, don't fuck with that. We can look at it later. We got stuff to talk about. It's delicate.
I'll be careful.
I think Lux is kind of standing in the doorway, also visibly uncomfortable, but just because it's like a dirty tech place, and it's just not Lux's jam at all.
That's not where they want to be.
No.
Cool. Where, Jacqueline, where is it that your lovely white attire has a blood stain from Gage now?
I think like just kind of down one side of the front.
Cool. Gage says, I can't believe I'm saying these words, but I think there's a bullet in me. Can someone help?
Oh, I look at Jacqueline. I'm like, I thought that you magicked that. Am I?
I can help. Let me do
I
it.
moved her death. I didn't move the bullet.
Oh, okay. And then as soon as Barnes offers, it's like, no, I got it. We're all good. Like,
I pull out my puzzle device, my switchblade. I'm like, I got it. I got it.
Oh, don't stab her.
We gotta get the bullet out.
No, that's not how that works. That's like, no, I've seen.
Jody.
You don't watch Ted.
Barnes, you're
You
not.
don't-
You're not even a medical student.
I'm
You have
like-
no idea what you're doing.
My mom and dad are doctors.
Did they teach you how to take out bullets?
Kinda. Look, I can do this.
Gage,
Oh.
would you like to? I will accompany you to the health center.
Is that safe? Like those dudes just shot her up.
I can.
Isn't that the
take
first
care
place
of
we're going to
myself.
go looking?
I hate to be a downer, but I am a little worried that we can't trust any officers on this campus.
Hmm. Well,
Can do it.
I can. In that case, why don't we go to the hospital?
Lex has terrible ideas. We know this.
Diego, do you have any like alcohol?
Yeah, I run over to I run over to another drawer and like I pull out a bottle of vodka. Like cheap vodka.
Nice.
Oh, no, honey. If you want alcohol, like, please, not like I'm like they almost gag looking at the bottom shelf vodka that he pulls out.
I mean, so I don't think she wants to drink it, and I pull out another bottle of whatever it is. I know you. What do you like to drink, Lux?
Oh, you can't afford what I like to drink.
I keep it around for you because we're friends. Maybe I stole it.
All right, it is. No, I think Lux likes those fluffy frou-frou drinks that like don't taste like alcohol.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, but they'll settle for like a sangria.
Great. I grab a bottle of say pre-mixed sangria from the fridge that has probably been sitting in there for too long.
I just like grab the vodka and like hand it to Gage. I'm like, did you want to drink it or use it as a disinfectant or both? Because both would be
Both.
fine. And no judgment.
Thank you, Jody.
I put something in her mouth and I start getting the bullet out. So
No, whoa.
You're going for remove the bullet with your Swiss Army knife?
yeah,
That sounds
Jacqueline,
amazing.
We might need
Okay,
your help again here in a second.
So I think Lux actually like intercedes. I would like to sway you, Barnes, if that's all right. Can you use sway on PCs?
You sure can. For woven bandmates, you can do it and then offer them a thread, which is an XP. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it.
Yeah. So I'm like, hang on, this like legitimately isn't a good idea. I get that we have a thing, but this isn't a good idea. So I'm rolling plus awe, which I have a +2 in.
You're re-rolling those blue dice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Reroll. Selected. How do I select them? There we go.
So, yeah, you can select them with the mouse. And
Awesome. I got a 14.
what? Okay,
you got doubles.
cool.
So you
Yeah.
get
Yes,
all-
those doubles. Mark an XP for that. Thank you, Alejandro. So on a 10+, you gain +1 thread if you choose to go with, like if you hold off because of what they said. You get +1 forward working towards whatever counter proposal Lux makes.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So
well, just to make sure though, Alejandro, does Barnes back off or?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll hear the counter proposal first, and then
Okay.
That's fair.
yeah. So why don't the both of us take Gage to the hospital? I know some people there, and we can get this all squared away, safe and sound. No authorities will be involved.
I say, "Okay, can you get me a jacket?" And then I do it. Like, as soon
Okay.
as Lux turns,
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
That's so trickster. I love it. Good. Okay, so
I'm bending fate.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Bending fate would be great. Do that thing. 2d6 plus weird. You're weird to 2. You're actually pretty
I rolled
weird.
a 5. Or 5 total.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow.
Should have went with my plan.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, if we kill Gage,
Yeah, what
we'll have to
happened?
rely on me to talk to her for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Can the game exist without a spindle?
We're not going to find that out right now. So here's what happens. Jody, Gage maybe saw what Barnes was trying to do, and she calls out like, Jody! And here's what happens. So you lean in, Barnes, to do the deed. Gage flinches away and kind of throws a little bit of vodka at you. I'm going to give you Fortune's disfavor. And so what that means, or Fate's disfavor, what that means is the next roll that you make, you're going to roll 3d6 and take the lowest 2. A bit of bad luck that comes your way.
Sure.
Cool. So yeah, Jody, how do you stop Barnes
I
from...
just like grab his arm, like, no.
Cool. All right, so you pulled it off. You tricked Lux, but fortunately, Gage is like more in tune with you than you anticipated, and she saw what you were going for. So maybe good, maybe bad, but yeah,
Good for her, probably.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Barnes, were you wearing your jacket when you said like?
My jacket?
Yeah, because you're like, oh, can you grab my jacket really fast?
Oh, no, I didn't have a jacket.
Oh, you didn't have
you
a
didn't
jacket.
have a jacket. That's awesome.
It's like, wait, how did I hit? Yeah.
Good stuff. Cool. So you guys aren't doing, or at least right now, Barnes, you've been stopped.
Barnes
Jody,
does have a thread for causing a distraction. Just flagging that.
Oh, right. Yeah. So do that. Take a thread, Barnes, because you're really distracting. It's great. That was so clever. Good. So Jody, you grab hold of him. You kind of push him back. As you do, you look down and you see that brown recluse, the zombie spider, is crawling up your arm. What do you do?
Hi there, buddy. I think I'm over my like creeped outness by it, because like it talked to me last time and it didn't, it had a chance to bite me and it didn't. So like I just kind of like let it, like, watch out, what, I don't want to squish you. I'm sure Jacqueline could bring you back to life again, but like right now
It actually gets harder each time.
See, yeah. That's a good thing to know. That's a really good thing to know. Does anybody have a car? Because I think we still need to get to a hospital.
I have a convertible. It doesn't have a whole lot of space.
Doesn't need a whole lot of space. It just needs to get from here to the hospital.
Just give me your keys. We can go.
I'll drive. You can sit in the back. It's one of those like where we have to move the seats forward to get someone in.
Yeah.
Barnes, did you mark the XP for causing a distraction, by the way? Or actually trick someone? You 100% tricked Lux, so go ahead and mark the thread for that, and I'll check that box for you.
That gives me 5.
Awesome. So you can immediately buy an advance from pay 5 threads to advance. There are other things you can do with threads, like buy Fate's favor, which means you roll 3d6 and keep the best 2.
Yeah, but that's boring.
It's advancements are like the sweet stuff. So yeah.
I since I'd filled that out, I picked a move from another playbook and added it to my repertoire, which is
what do you have?
One shot from the Celestial. When attacking someone you have found guilty of a morally repugnant crime, you don't miss. Curve the bullet, bank your arrow, whatever it takes. Which is helpful because none of us are that great at smiting, but now I have sorry, except for Jody, who has stacked smiting. But yeah, now I've got a thing that will make
I can't smite without smiting everyone else too.
Anyway, potentially I can smite better as long as I judge someone guilty of a repugnant crime first.
Nice. All right. So, Diego, you pulled them in here to your workshop. It looks like they want to take off and go to a hospital, which kind of obviates your hidden workshop. Is there any argument that you're throwing out here before they all head out to the nice convertible?
I look around at everybody, and then I look at Gage, and I say, Gage, how are you feeling?
My shoulder hurts and my fingers are numb, and I don't know if that's really bad or just what you should expect from a gunshot.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Lux looks very guilty that they did not think to ask that question.
I think before, like, even if people are kind of mobilizing to go, Jacqueline is going to approach that covered up thing in the corner of Diego's workshop and like kind of reach out towards the canvas covering it.
Hey, you want to? I put my hand on her hand and I say, Jacqueline, I would be so happy to give you the full tour down here, and like we'll pull off the tarp. I can tell you what it is and how it works. But Gage is hurting.
What are you building, Diego?
It's a can I tell you in the car?
I'm gonna stare deeply into Diego's eyes and roll Justicar to determine his guilt.
Oh, I was looking to sway you to get you out, but we can do that.
Oh,
do the Justicar thing first.
I mean, you're up for me to make that roll first?
Yeah, make that roll first. That's more interesting.
All right, let's see what happens. Because I suspect you're creating the dangerous thing that will ultimately spell your doom.
Right. I have to figure out what I'm actually creating. But that's cool.
Yeah, so it's plus judgment, which is 2. Great.
You kind of built a judge.
I rolled a 5 plus 2. That's a 7, and Justicar on a 7 is you get a sense of their guilt, but nothing too specific.
I guess it's me that has to tell you this, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think you can tell that the guilt is directed towards you. Like whatever it is, I feel bad about. Right? It has to do with you.
Is my Rich? Is my Book of the Dead online again? Such that the gifted effect from Justicar kicks in.
So last session we didn't think you were going to be able to make subsequent sessions, and that's why we allowed it to be fully and irreparably broken. But then in doing so, we also said there would probably be other ways for you to access it. So let's say the tablet is no longer operable.
Yeah, it got fizzled.
But when you check your phone,
I think
Scythe is there.
Can I jump in? That was when I tossed him her. It's when I tossed her the phone earlier. That was sort of like me trying to make up. Right.
There we go. Awesome.
So I've got a clunky older phone, but I can still
Nokia
access the.
It's like it's Toshiba guts. It works real well. It's powered by magic, right? That's what this thing is.
Awesome. Thank you for throwing that in. That is really cool. So yes, you can access the Book of the Dead, which gives you the gifted ability of helping someone assuage their guilt, right?
Yeah, or knowing how I could help someone assuage their guilt.
Right. You have a clear idea of the best way to help this person clear their conscience if you feel so inclined. So I'm going to take a little bit of information from Diego. Do you...
Yeah, I'm happy to share with everyone what this is about.
Oh, good. I just want to make sure, like, if you need a minute.
Keeping secrets, but this is like, right, the characters don't know. A little dramatic irony here. So I think what it is. So I had sort of like figured out that Jacqueline was using the dead to spy on us. And so what this thing is it's something that it's supposed to be, right? the idea is that when it's finished, it will be something that like creates a field that is like both makes the presence of spirits in the dead visible and also allows a person with the remote to sort of like block them out.
An anti-ghost field.
Kind of like an yeah, exactly. And somehow or another, I don't know how, there's like a little bit of an underpants gnome thing happening, but like I'm convinced it's going to make me millions. Convinced that like that there's just going to be like all of these demigods and members of pantheons who are like, whoa, right? There's like dead people all over the place. It's terrible. They're interfering with my life. I don't know why I think this, right? And they're going to sell like hotcakes when they get the prototype out.
And we cut to Diego before, as he was scratching on a notepad his ideas, baked to high heaven, watching Ghostbusters.
You know,
this is really good.
Talking people through an inspector's game.
Yes, yes. So yes, you know what the conscience, how to help clear their conscience. I think.
Or I mean, can you say one more sentence about what sort of impression I get?
Right. So the reason for the guild we get to is that like the whole thing was built like as a to keep.
Yeah, it's kind of an anti-Jacqueline device.
An anti-Jacqueline thing. But like also, I'm also desperately in love with you, and so like I feel bad that I wanted, but also the fact that these ghosts are spying on me at night is creeping me out, and I just that's feel kind of violated by that.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. If Jacqueline's getting a sense of that, then I think you see her eyes go wide a little bit, because she's not thought a lot about the implications of having ghosts spy on her friends, because it seems like to her it seems like a very normal thing to do. But I think like knowing that Diego is working on this device, partly to like block out ghosts, makes her like kind of think a little bit more about the ethics of forcing the dead to keep watch over her friends. But this is mostly playing out internally at the moment, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So you guys can't really go in just the convertible, I imagine. So I guess you guys end up in 2 cars.
Well, I was thinking about this, and I think
I can turn into a monkey or something. Like I turn into a cockroach, and I wait in Lex's pocket.
And Diego, you're riding the skateboard. Is that right? It's the best.
Totally. I've got like a rope, and I'm like, or no, I'm hanging
in the rain. Wait, no, it's not raining. It was sprinklers.
Just a sprinkler system.
The skateboard at the moment doesn't have wheels. It just kind of hovers.
It
doesn't give it any like extra frictionless movement. It moves just like a skateboard with wheels. It just doesn't have wheels.
Fair enough.
And I can turn into a jackal pup, if that's helpful.
I think we should be able to fit 4 people.
Man, I just see Gage.
I'll ride in the car.
Oh man. So I see Gage, like someone's helping her get into the car, and then all of a sudden we have Jacqueline turn into a jackal pup, and we have Barnes turn into a cockroach, and and she just looks around and she says, "I have the weirdest friends."
Well, I asked the zombie spider not to eat the cockroach.
Well, I think if Barnes turns into a cockroach, then that means that I get to help Gage into the car. And so who's sitting behind Gage and who's sitting behind me? Because I'm assuming that Gage is in the passenger seat, and so
I assume Gage is holding Jackal Pup in her lap.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess I'm sitting behind Gage just to move this conversation forward.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
and we're not doing floating skateboard behind. That's okay. I'm a little sad, but I understand that logistically it makes
We got to keep on the DL. Like,
Diego hopping in the back. Okay, so you guys drive around.
That
You
conversation
end up.
actually happened.
was that?
Like that conversation we just had actually happened.
Oh yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes, it's
There's
all
definitely like a wait. How are we fitting everyone in? Yeah. So
Sweet. You guys pull up, and the closest hospital is Mercy Hospital, which
Okay.
is located off of Fridley, off of 694. You're headed that way, and on the way, the spider crawls up to your cheek and whispers in your ear. Jody, and says, do you think we could finish it? The blanket?
Me? I mean, I don't know how to weave.
Well, she didn't know how to weave. I can teach you.
Sure, as long as you just tell me, please don't do the ear thing. That's creepy. You can just tell me though.
Okay. I'll tell you how to do it. So you guys are pulling in, and she's whispering, ideas on the weaving. And as you guys go past like the Mercy Hospital, the big sign Mercy Hospital, and you see there's like an olive tree as part of the logo and everything. And you guys come around. Do you take her to the ER, Lux, or do you? Yeah, okay. So you come around to the ER, and they're gonna wheelchair her in.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a thing where like all of you guys are going to try to stick around her even when she gets pulled back to be operated on?
I definitely go with her while Lex parks.
Well, you're easily travel. You're easy to travel, so
yeah. Well, there's a valet, so I'm able to go in.
Cool. So we'll here's what we're going to do. We're a little over the halfway point. It's 46 after the hour. Let's take about 5-6 minutes and just meet back up at, let's call it literally 6 minutes, 52, say 8 till the next hour. So we'll take our one break here, and then we'll pick up with you guys in the operation for Gage. Okay. Midpoint check-in. Gio, how's it going for you?
Going good. Going good.
Good.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Alejandro. Everything okay? Just a quick check-in. All right. You took a new move, Alejandro, for Barnes?
Yes. For the swarm, you can summon and command a swarm of insects, rats, spiders, or birds for the duration of the scene. You can inflict one harm, but their usefulness usually lies elsewhere. They will exhibit collective intelligence and loyalty to the verdant, or me.
That is wicked.
That's pretty rad.
And you can just change that from the verdant to they'll be loyal to you.
Yeah.
Rich, can I make a small request?
Absolutely.
Since I'm not going to be able to make it back next week,
Mhm.
which I'm very sad about. You guys are awesome, and this game has been
Same.
a ton of fun. I'll last work. But if I could at some point towards the end, and it doesn't have to be like hard at the end, I'm okay if there's an opportunity a little bit early, I'll hang out. Like get an opportunity to make an exit. If it's not, if we can't make it happen, I'm fine with that. You'll just roll without me next week. But it's always nice to be able to say goodbye.
Absolutely. At the very least, Jesse, what we'll do at the end is give you an opportunity for an epilogue at the very least. But if we can find a nice exit ramp for you, we will pursue it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bethany, are you with us but just having camera issues or not back yet? Why would you answer if you're not back yet? That's a dumb question, Rich. Okay, we'll give her just a few moments.
If you're with us, give us a sign.
Excuse me.
I was watching Netflix today while doing some spreadsheet work. I wanted to listen to some music, and I don't know why I didn't go to YouTube or something else. I just thought I'll watch a music thing on Netflix.
Mhm.
Bad choice. They used to have concerts. I ended up watching a little bit of a documentary about Steve Aoki, who's a DJ.
Oh, cool.
I did not know that his sister is Devin Aoki, who was on the Fast and the Furious
No way.
movies. His dad also didn't know this. His dad's the guy who invented Benihana.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
That's a very storied family.
Yes. And I did not know nearly as much about the guy who invented Benihana was a Japanese Olympic wrestler who defected to America when he came to compete in New York. It was really fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's called Aoki. Worth watching. Not a whole lot of music, but music adjacent. It's
Yeah.
a musician. Okay.
Ooh, good point, Alexi. Yeah. I was looking at that too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if the plot justifies it, but I think I think throwing a party would be excellent if we can find a good excuse.
Yes. At the least, a pity party.
Yeah. So we're gonna pick up. When Bethany's able to rejoin us, we'll just integrate her in as if she were always there. So you guys come in. We'll just say maybe she's having a prolonged conversation with the spider.
Mhm.
You guys come into Mercy Hospital, and Gage is admitted because she has a gunshot wound. All of you guys are in. Are you still a pup, or did you become Jacqueline again?
I probably became Jacqueline again when we pulled into the hospital.
Probably
I
not
think-
a bad idea.
I think while Jacqueline's here though, this new phone she has is making like lots of pinging noises.
Oh
And
yeah.
she's like, "Oh, so I don't know how to mute it. New device. Sorry." And like, if the camera zooms over to see what she's looking at, she's getting like notifications from her Book of the Dead app.
Nice. And Scythe's hopping around like, little counters going up.
Oh yeah.
Gio, I'm sorry. I made a Clippy joke in the first game where Jacqueline had failed to do a thing with her app And so Scythe showed up, which was just Clippy, but it was just a scythe that was animated. It sounds like you want to find out about the dead. I can help. So Scythe is now a joke that I keep making.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, so you guys come in. Gage is brought back. It's one of those like ER type deals where they have larger rooms with the curtains that are drawn to give a little bit of privacy. And Dr. Metis comes in, a gray-eyed surgeon, and he's got a steady hand, and he immediately just kind of goes zip, 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 and he's able to pull that bullet out. But as he's doing so, of course, he's asking questions. Sorry?
It's not that hard. See, guys, I could have done that.
Yeah, he's like, it's like this, like it's easy. But yeah, he delivers a local anesthetic, and bandages are up, and of course he's, we're gonna need to report this. What exactly happened? And that's when Gage looks around at you guys and says, I was cleaning a gun.
Yeah, I told you, Gage, you shouldn't.
I have a collection of guns that I was not being responsible with. I have already purchased the safe. Amazon's sending it in right now, so we don't have to worry about this. We don't have to.
Gage like holds up her left because she's shot in the right. Thank God for Prime. Sweet. But by the way, also Geo. Before these guys showed up, Gage was agnostic. Now, like, she's just confused.
Who knows? Yeah.
So when she says "thank God," she doesn't know what God she's talking about. So yeah, Barnes, you explained. Yeah, you got it. It was your gun. You got a safe coming, and Dr. Metis looks at you and he says, "That's a little abnormal. Can I get your name?" And
I think at this point I intervene. I'm like, Dr. Metis, was it? Hi, my name is Lux. And I basically just bullshit my way through a conversation. I'm trying to sway him to don't even worry about it. It's all good. Like
nice.
Everything's all handled.
Yeah, that seems appropriate, right? Things just work out for you. That's why there turned out that there was a valets, and you are in. Let's go ahead and have you roll sway here.
Yeah. Okay. So reroll these. All right. So I have an 8 altogether. So on a 7 to 9 to sway someone, they will do it, but they demand some kind of price.
Cool. So he looks at you and he says, "My daughter, Lux Amato, right? Yes, Lux Amato. Yes. Can I get a picture with you?"
Of course, and we kind of arrange the whole thing. There's
rolling my eyes. Let's get out of here, Gage.
Yeah, and the photo turns out great because of course it does. Yeah. Would you like it? Yes, #blessed.
Sweet.
Would you like me to post this on my Instagram?
Oh, yes. Can you make sure and tag in this? And he gives you an Instagram. It's his daughter.
Absolutely. Yep. It's all tagged perfectly. Everything. Just it's a wonderful photo.
Cool. So Dr. Bez very excited about this. Happy that his daughter is going to be pleased with all the things that are going on. Your app is still going crazy with ping ping. It's like someone at a theater, and they keep getting their text messages from work.
Sorry, that's me with the Book of the Dead app going off. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see any evidence that the 2 guards that we killed at the library have been brought here? Like, is there a morgue attached to the hospital, or?
Well, this would be the closest morgue, so it is entirely possible that they were brought here. If you want to go looking, I'm sure you.
I think I know someone here. I'm gonna go have a chat.
Sweet.
Remaining relatively vague while Dr. Metis is there, but it's possible other people can tell that Jacqueline means she's going to go talk to the dead.
Can I tag along? Is it an interesting person?
We're going to find out.
Great.
Have fun, you two. Stay safe. Don't do drugs.
Cool.
Say hi to your friend for me.
Nice. Let's cut to you guys coming to the morgue, which of course will be in a basement.
Yeah.
And
Wait, so is everybody going or just the two of you?
I don't know. What do you think? You guys, should we just have a split party here with the two of them?
I'm gonna hang out here with Gage.
All right, cool.
I think Gage should go. It'd be fun. She's sewn up. She's good as gold.
She almost just died, and you want to take her to a morgue? Come on.
She can see what she avoided.
Poor form.
You're leading this, Jacqueline, so let's have you perform under pressure just to see, the actually getting in. So roll 2d6 plus metal, and of course, Diego, if you would like to aid, let me know how you're helping out, and you can do that.
Yeah. All right. So my metal's okay. So that's a 2. My metal is a -1.
That's
that went badly.
Can't really help with that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you really can't. Sweet. So you head down to the morgue. There is they don't have any guards here.
Yeah.
You just head through. It's a door, but Diego, you're able to work past it. I mean, you're good with mechanics, right?
Excellent.
Are we thinking more with the shelves you pull out and the dead bodies are lying on them?
Yeah, it's totally that.
Right.
So you guys come in, you check the clipboard, you find the most recent arrivals, pull one of the sleeves, the drawers.
Yeah.
Pull the drawer open.
This should be the corpse we're looking for. Pull it open.
Cool. You pull it open, and there's a woman's body in there, and like the blanket covering. This is PG-13.
Yeah.
Suddenly now PG-13. It's blanket covering, and she has this like beautiful aquiline nose, strong features. Can't just from a glance tell the reason of death. And then she opens her gray eyes and looks at you.
Whoa. This isn't me. Like, Jacqueline's taken aback because she didn't do anything to try to revive this corpse. We're suddenly just staring at this woman.
She reaches up to hold the blanket and starts to sit up and turns and looks at the two of you. I'm sorry, but your mortal friend needs to die. And there's a strength to her voice.
Who are you?
I am Athena, also known as Minerva. And your friend Gage has offended me, and therefore she must die.
Your lordship, our friend didn't mean to do anything to offend you. It was a spider that crawled into her ear. I can call a ghost to testify, or I could, but the ghost is kind of mad at me right at the moment.
She glances over at you, Diego. And what lies are you offering me?
I mean, could we cut some kind of a deal? I feel like I don't want her to die.
You're right. I'll take her hand. That's fair.
Sure, I can probably build a pretty cool prosthetic. Maybe ask her what she wants.
Lady Athena, you have been known to accept challenges from mortals for the sake of Assuaging your wrath.
She steps off of the slab thing, right? And then all of a sudden the blanket becomes this beautiful toga. And then you see slung across her back is the Aegis, the shield that has Medusa's head on it, but it's facing away from you guys.
That's good. That's good. We're not looking at Medusa's head.
What contest do you offer me?
How do you feel about chess?
Cool. So we'll cut away. That is a great cutaway moment. So we cut away to you guys with Gage and Jody and Lux and Barnes. Barnes, are you still like hiding at this point, or if you popped out? I'm just want to know. Like,
No. I'm sitting next to him and I'm holding both of her hands to make sure Lux doesn't get one.
Nice. Yeah, like we cut it. We cut in. We have her holding both of her hands. It's so perfect because she's like, oh, I'll just take her hands. That's something's amazing, and she's got the bandage on her shoulder, and they had to cut away a little bit of the shirt. And
that's gonna leave such a cool scar.
I'm not.
Barnes, why are you so weird? Lex is saying this like.
It's gonna be a cool scar. I mean, she's gonna have awesome conversations with people. Like, I've been shot.
I mean, that's not.
I've never been shot. Have you ever been shot?
Do you want to be shot? I can arrange that.
Maybe.
So, out of character, I'm realizing that the move that I chose, the influencer one. I'm not sure. I'm wondering if it's possible to change it. I'm realizing now
Swap
that
it out.
it's like
Yeah,
it has,
no problem.
It has a little,
Swap it out.
It's a little icky, like consent wise potentially. So I might nab. I might just nab a short skirt, long jacket instead.
Yeah, just go ahead and swap it out. No problem.
Cool. Awesome.
And I'll give that feedback. Just that, it's a thing.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think Lux sits down opposite of Barnes. And where's Jody in this scene?
I think like in the doorway.
Okay. Yeah. I think totally like almost intentionally ignoring Jody. Lux is like, so Barnes, what is up with you and Gage? And like kind of points at the hands and is like,
I'm just here to take care of her. I care deeply about her. We're friends, right, Gage? We're friends, right, Gage? Don't forget.
We're totally right. We're
right. See,
friends.
Lux?
I don't
Shut
know
up,
why
Lux.
you have to insist that so hard.
Because Lux just doesn't understand. She's just probably still
Feeling
jealous.
some animosity or something between you guys. We're all friends here, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Friends is a word I would use to describe it sometimes.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. I almost want to leave it at that. Just like.
Yeah, it's just like the quiet. But
yeah.
So Jody, the spider starts whispering. It's like, when can we start weaving? There are lots of materials here.
No, I'm not gonna just grab stuff from later. We'll go to a craft store and we'll get like some yarn or some shit, whatever you use to weave. And I mean, they're using this stuff.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jody?
The
Are you getting
spider?
creepy again? It's just.
You're one to talk about creepy. You with the knife and the bullets and.
I'm just here. I'm just here to help you. I'm just here to help you.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking to the spider. Never mind. It's
No,
Talking to the
the
spider?
raccoon said. The
Yeah,
raccoon
zombie
said that
spider,
if I can just finish the weave, then I'm free.
the raccoon. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a spider. I can't be judgy.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay.
What are you talking about, Jody?
Okay. Does one of you know what the raccoon is?
Could I potentially read the weave?
Wow, you should. Why don't you read the weave?
Okay, so I'm gonna try and read. There's not a situation, so I guess place is the closest.
You could just roll plus judgment, and then you can actually kind of sift through the questions. It's like a big.
Okay. Yeah.
Truly
Okay.
broad.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I think this is one of those like divine hunch sort of things. Like I'm just trying to like let all the information wash over me and kind of see where it takes me. So let's re-roll. All right, an 11 plus judgment brings me to 12. I am on a hot streak today.
3 questions from the appropriate list.
Okay, so let's see. So I guess I'll ask about the spider. So, how does the spider factor into our weave?
Ooh. The spider factors into your weave because she's been inserted into the weave. She is drawn to Gage, had used Gage as a pawn, and now is trying to do the same with Jody.
Okay. How can I get the spider to buzz off?
If you convince Arachne that she's been lied to and there is no path to regaining her mortality or more, then she's going to stop pushing for this because, she's putting herself at risk.
Okay. And then
Can we? This is just.
I imagine it's part of a conversation because I don't want that knowledge to just be held within Lux. Okay.
Yeah. So
I would like to know, and maybe this is a separate role, but I would like to know: can we free Arachne? Can we help Arachne get freed?
You would have to go head up against Athena to actually successfully free Arachne.
That would be fun.
Now, this many demigods working together, that is a thing that's within the realm of possibility.
Okay.
Where does she hide out these days?
So you say that, and that is when Diego and Diego, Jacqueline, and a woman in a toga show up.
Do we just appear in this room?
You just appear in this room.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is it clear if she is? Like, do we recognize her or?
Yeah, she's not trying to destroy Gage, so she's not her full godly appearance because that would smite. Yeah. But it's Athena. You see an aegis on her back.
I hope everyone carefully angles themselves so they're not staring at the aegis directly.
There's an owl on her arm, like she's holding an owl. She's got all the accoutrement of Athena.
I hold out my hand. Right. It's a pleasure meeting you.
She does not shake your hand.
It takes me probably like a second too long to recognize. I'm like, Minerva? Like not 100% on it. I'm like, is that right?
She kind of bends her head forward and says, "No, I am Athena. Minerva and I are different."
My apologies.
Yeah, I'll say. How do you release the spider? How can we get you to release the spider? The spider's cool.
I'm not here for your
the
questions,
correct term?
trickster. I have been challenged, and you will all witness.
You've been challenged?
Yes.
What's the challenge here?
The goddess
Arm
of
wrestling?
wisdom has been challenged in a game of chess.
Okay, so not arm wrestling.
Like whom?
Jacqueline is like kind of
I'll totally arm wrestle her.
setting up her chessboard. Is there like a hospital table that she can pull over?
Oh yeah, it's like one of those like little tables that you can kind of slide
Really
over
good,
and eat, you know?
Yeah.
Gage is sitting in I don't know why we've done this, but like I love the idea of her being in an actual hospital room now. They just like checked her in for a little bit for observation, and because that sounds more interesting than an emergency room conversation. So
Yeah.
so you like slide it over. Your guys are gonna be playing chess for her life. This sounds great. Gage is like, "What's Jody, what's going on?"
We're here for you.
I'm not real sure, but I think we really want Jacqueline to win this game.
Do we really
So-
want Jacqueline playing? Maybe I could call my
Do
Uncle
you-
Robbie?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't think your uncle would
would it work?
understand what's going on here, Gage.
My
That's all right.
Just did something funny. What just happened?
Oh, Jacqueline said, "I don't think your uncle would understand what's going on here, Gage." And then I think she says, "You may be stuck with me, but I have been practicing." So, Lady Athena, the terms are, if I win, you leave our friend alone.
And the spider.
Are we? Why are we throwing the spider in?
Yeah, that feels like double dipping.
The spider's cool.
Why is the spider cool? I don't think Lux has been filled in on any of this at all. Like,
It's just
I have no idea what's going on, says Diego.
so there's a
No
spider. So there's this spider, and Athena has been tormenting this spider for I don't know how long.
that seems petty.
And that
That seems petty.
yeah, I know.
I mean, gods. They're
Are we having
they're
this
all petty, I
conversation
say
out
in
loud in
front
front
of
of Athena?
Yes, you're having this conversation out loud in front of Athena.
Barnes, yeah.
I apologize for my friends. I suppose perhaps the stakes could be each of Gage's hands, one for herself and one for the spider.
I don't like that. How about her nails? So, out of character, I'm now trying to negotiate on Athena's behalf.
You just stepped in as
Yeah.
her representative in this.
Yeah.
This is I love this. I'm so here for now the trickster. This sounds good.
So that would be 10 games, one for each of the fingernails.
Are the
Well,
games played simultaneously? Like, is it several chessboard?
Athena moves over and puts her arm around you, Barnes. So I believe that I see your angle here.
Yeah.
It is completely off the table that this weave, that this blanket, that this throw, whatever you wish to call it today, that cannot exist. It has already
Oh, we
been
burned it.
destroyed.
I mean,
and
is that the problem? Because it doesn't.
Yeah, we burned it. It is gone.
But it cannot
It's
be
like-
replicated.
It's like Pittsburgh now.
That blasphemy will do nothing but incense all of my brothers and sisters and my father. I will not allow them to be disrespected, even if perhaps there are hints of truth.
Even though they're assholes, you would not want them to be insulted.
Exactly, because then they will come down here and cause a great deal of torture and problems.
All right. I look at this. I look at the spider and at Gage. Are you ladies done with the weaves? It sounds like it's done.
And now all I require is for Gage to be punished, and that is where I have been challenged.
Gage, the spider did it. Gage was asleep. You can't punish someone for something they didn't sleep. But whoever the hell the raccoon is maybe the person you're looking for.
Yeah, the raccoon.
She peers at you for a long, long moment. It's a great deal of animals that you seem to be laying the blame upon.
You know,
Right.
if that's what they call themselves, who am I to argue with them?
Yeah,
Here's
also
what
you
I-
have that whole owl situation going on, so
I do not blame my owls for the travesties performed by a mortal. Jody, I task you. Find out what this raccoon you speak of is. And if you can prove to me that this raccoon and Arachne are the reasons for this mortal be thrown to me, then Gage will be safe. Otherwise, she will be smitten. And I do not mean with you, Lux.
Probably not. Crap, I forgot his name already. God damn it. That was gonna sound much cooler until I forgot the actual Alejandro's character's name.
Don't forget, I've got a maps and people, so I'm trying to keep track of names that we've thrown out of note. Are you trying to talk about Azaban?
No, I was trying. Barnes is who I was talking about. I was like, probably not Barnes either, huh?
Here we go.
And I say this out loud, like, just I mean, sure. And I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, are you sure? I don't know. Maybe Jacqueline has a better chance of beating her chest than I do of finding out who this raccoon character is. But yeah, sure. No problem. Definitely. Find out from a spider who a raccoon is. Okay.
Very well. And there is still a contest if you wish to set different stakes, Jacqueline. You may.
What?
So
Oh dear. I think like Jacqueline is like actually pretty nervous about going up against the goddess of wisdom in chess. So I think she like looks around and she's like, well, it'd be helpful to have some kind of help against other divine intervention in the meantime as we investigate this raccoon for you, Lady Athena. Will you play for us to have the chance to go about this mission unmolested? And we'll give you the spider if you win.
That is acceptable. If you win in this chess match, then none of the Olympians will trouble you for a fortnight as you find me whoever is wishing to blaspheme the gods. And if I win, you will turn Arachne over to me, and I will send her to Tartarus. Because obviously she cannot be allowed on the mortal plane. She causes trouble.
Yes, certainly. All right. I think like Jacqueline like shoots a look of relief at Gage because she's much happier that Gage is not directly on the line in this game.
Gage is cool with that too. Arachne, however, not happy at all about that, Jody.
Yeah, she was trying to like use me to do the same thing and probably get me killed or my hands cut off. So I'm not super concerned with what Arachne thinks right now.
Okay, fair enough. Sweet. Okay, so how do we want to adjudicate a chess match? And you have a lightning bolt, by the way, Barnes.
Okay.
It's a small one.
Okay.
What happened with the lightning bolt?
This happened on the side chat, but as you guys are having this conversation, Barnes, after like Athena buddying up to him and using him to like sow some chaos here, as if the apple of discord was thrown amongst you, he reached into her toga and pulled out a small, very shiny thing that for some reason Athena didn't notice. And yes, You've pickpocketed Athena and now have a lightning bolt of Zeus.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Jacqueline lays out the chessboard and she says, Lady Athena, black or white?
Oh man, Gage is super into this because this is like the only thing that separated the two of you. I think Athena is going to choose... There's nothing really necessarily about Athena that would be black or white, so I think I'm just.
She's gray-eyed.
She's gray-eyed, exactly. Like that's so tough.
Well, white is the dominant move. I mean, people who play white generally win. Okay. You get the first move.
She's wise, so there you go. She would choose white. I choose white.
Wise move. Jacqueline tries not to seem rattled.
This is good. Cool. So yeah, you guys like there's you can feel the momentous, all the focus here between the two of them playing this chess match.
I think she picks up the king she has because she's like been setting up her side of the board, and the black king in this chess set just has Anubis's head.
Oh, that's kick ass.
Like it's a little black jackal.
Awesome. Now, as you guys are setting up, I see that Jody is trying to read the weave here to do a little bit of research. So why don't you roll 2d6 plus judgment? Rolled a 7.
But my judgment is -1.
Oh, I'm
unless
happy
anyone like to help.
Yeah, I think. Tell me if this is like too condescending a move, right? I see that you're like poking around on your phone, like trying to and you're just like, I sort of snatch it away for a second, like do a very quick little thing, and then hand it back to you.
Oh, I spelled raccoon wrong. That was the problem. It was like I couldn't spell raccoon.
Right.
Awesome.
There's two C's. I always forget.
Roll 2d6 plus the one thread that you have with Jody, Diego.
Yeah. That's not right. Let's try this again. There we go. That's a 5.
And 1 for your thread, so that's a 6. Which means you both fail.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's just juicy as all get out. Now, I got to roll back for one other thing. You still have the lightning bolt. I've said it's the true thing. However, you were supposed to have rolled with fortune's or fate's disfavor. You did. You did. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Thank you. Awesome. I was like, I didn't ask, and so I thought, oh, well, maybe he didn't remember, but you did. Cool. So that you got a 9. So you still have.
I rolled a 6 and Alexi's 6, and then my 2 and my 6. So.
Okay. Cool. So we have 2 fails on the board, and here is what happens. Athena looks at you, Jody, and looks over at you, Diego. And the two of you disappear. Jody, which of the pieces, which of the black pieces are you?
Knight.
I mean, are you a pawn? Are you a knight? Are you a
Knight.
bishop? Oh, you're a knight? Okay, Jody is a knight.
Can only move in weird and like convoluted ways.
Exactly.
Seems about right.
And Diego, which of the black pieces are you?
I think I'm a rook.
Nice.
Yeah, very technical,
wanna be
moving in
on the
straight
board,
lines.
Right.
You know, put me on board.
Straightforward and technical. Yeah.
Sweet. And I'm sorry, what were you what were you saying, Barnes?
I want to be on the board. Put me on the board. I want to be the queen.
Sweet.
I
You
want to be
just
the queen.
But
You're
Barnes,
the queen? On the white or on the black side?
Barnes, this is going to make it harder for me. I don't.
Just don't kill us.
Chess is
do
about
this.
making sacrifices.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
No. Oh no.
Can I? Never mind. I don't want to.
I can be a better queen than anybody else in this room.
Doubtful, but go forward.
I haven't shaved.
She's not going to break up your woven band, so you are now the Black Queen. And then Athena will look to you. Lux, do you wish to participate?
Before I agree to it, what happens if a piece gets sacrificed?
No sense of adventure, child of Venus? Are you too worried about getting your hands dirty?
She's kind of a chicken shit.
You're already a piece now. You can't talk.
Yeah, can we hear what the pieces are saying? Are they making any noise from down
You guys are like down in the pieces. You can still talk, and you guys. I mean, you're demigods, right? So sure. But yeah, I think Athena is trying to like call you a chicken shit. It's exactly what she's doing. She's trying to goad you into this.
Gosh, I think that would work. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Appeal to your ego. What piece does Lux become?
Oh, it's got to be the king.
Okay, there we go. King and queen.
Yeah.
No. Let's get What do you mean, king?
You guys like form up together,
Okay.
and yeah, Barnes gets upset because. But remember, the king can only move one space, you know. But,
Jacqueline's like looking down at the board. She's like, okay. So bishop's more expendable this game.
and the bishop looks up like, what?
If you get the pawns across the board, then you get a bunch of me.
Oh, how did that work? more bars.
Aren't you so? Wait, what? Are you? How do you play this game?
Don't worry, you only have to move in straight lines. You have the easy part.
I knew it was a bad idea to come to a hospital. People die in hospitals.
Not this way usually.
All right.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
We're gonna do chess, but what I'm gonna do is basically set a countdown clock, right? And that countdown clock is in. I'm actually gonna put it. It's a cool thing about Roll for Your Party. I can actually create a countdown clock.
That's pretty rad.
We've got half an hour, and I want to have stuff done for Jesse. So I'm gonna say that it just needs 6 ticks. Okay. That may be too many as it is, but we'll see how it goes. All right.
Is the clock here? Is it in Roll for Your Party right now?
It is popping up right now. It's called Chess Game.
All right. Cool.
Now, so Chess Game is you got to fill it up to win, and then the cost is the longer that it goes, the more that your friends could potentially be taken off the board, hurt, all that kind of stuff. If you do damage in some kind of combat, the number of harm you would do will be, we'll call it like ticks on the clock. And what I'm imagining is, say you do smite your enemies, you do your thing, you hit, and if you choose to go +1 harm, then you do 2 ticks on the clock. Does that seem fair? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But then if you wanted to do something like bend fate or try to do some other move, then we'll say that a mixed success would be 1 tick, and a 10 plus could potentially be 2 ticks based on how it goes. We'll kind of play with it a little bit.
I guess I'm not quite sure. Are you filling in the clock, or are we filling in the clock?
By your rolls, you'll be filling in the clock. You want to fill the clock completely, and if so, you have won the game of chess.
Great. Okay, cool.
Can we interfere if fictionally appropriate?
Absolutely.
Great.
So,
And then Alejandro, you had a question? So
Yeah, I was going to say, can we be helping somehow? Or
Yes. Like, what I'm imagining is, like, you're the commander, Alexi. You're like, you're kind of the commander. You're the chess master. And then we'll throw them into little tete-a-tetes, with other.
I see. We're playing
Greek
God
warriors.
chess here.
Yes, you're playing God chess. Why
So
could we
there-
not? I had
so
we
my-
had to do this.
My pieces are going to be trying to smite their enemies when I move them on the board.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I'm the king, because
I
I
can't
am
remember what that chess where you actually fought out it started with an A. There was that one video game chess where the
Battle chess.
battle chess, and there
was
was
the one I used to play on the old Apple II. Anyways.
Okay.
Wow, you and me, we're old dudes, because I remember that too. All right, awesome.
So, I think I know. So if we assume that the beginning of the game is some pawns moving forward like you usually do in chess, I think the first move I want to make to take one of Athena's pieces is moving my knight, which is Jody, to take one of Athena's pawns. Let's find out what those are like.
Nice, cool. So yeah, you headed to take on one of the pawns. And imagine
Jody.
all the white pieces, like the pawns all turn into like these giant owls, right? And so you're going against this giant owl, Jody, which you're an air elemental. This could go really well for you.
I was going to say they need air to get around.
Nice. So it kind of, we zip into like this Grecian island, and the two of you appear on either side, and you see this like crazy looking owl, right? You look at the piece, and you this is a really cute owl, and then instead it's like these demon eyes, and this head kind of spins around a couple times. This is wicked, and so it takes to the air. And so what do you do as this owl attacks you? Like, its plan is to like grab you up and rip you apart. That's its whole plan. Oh man, if only I thought of that.
Oh yeah. No, I think this like just downdraft as it starts to like launch off. It just comes down and just like flattens it down to the ground.
Oh, kick-ass.
Brings it down.
Cool. So, do you think that you are trying to smite your enemies, or do you have a particular elemental move that you're activating here?
I think I'm just smiting my enemies here.
Okay, cool. So smite your enemies, roll 2d6 plus prowess. You got a 2 prowess.
Which is a good thing because I just rolled a 6, but that's an 8.
Awesome. So with an 8, you choose one from the list below. So you can either protect yourself because it is going to harm you, or you can do +1 harm to the enemy, which means that not only will you take it out, but that's going to be 2 ticks on the chess clock. Gain an advantageous position, which I'll allow the next person who rolls to roll with fortune or fate's favor, which is 3d6. Pick the best 2. Take something from your enemy. I'd be curious. We could talk that through, or making an opening for your ally, which would probably be similar to what I talked about with the gain an advantageous position.
I kind of want to take something from my enemy.
Neat.
Not sure how that works though, given this situation. Wish I had a brilliant idea here.
take their feathers.
I mean, maybe it's like just like it's a board position thing. I don't know, like we've kind of abstracted this game out
Right.
a little bit anyway, right? So that like at whatever point in the game this is, right, the space you've taken is a dominant space, and it means that like if like one of the center spaces with a knight on it, that's like
Yeah,
so,
you're pinning down like the bishop and the queen.
Okay,
And,
yeah,
and
that's
you've
perfect.
forced Athena to either basically lose her bishop, because who the hell would lose their queen on purpose? Right. So that's the advantageous position. Awesome. So you not only do you take out the pawn, you destroy the owl. You smote it, or it's smitten. I don't know. Whatever. Take out the pawn, and then the next move, she has to pull back her her queen, and is effectively sacrificing the bishop. And yeah, I'll go ahead. I kind of like that as giving us another tick, and I'm also kind of managing the clock a little bit here. So what's the next move that we see Jacqueline as Athena probably moves forward? She castles, right?
Yeah.
Because
Protecting your king. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, please protect me.
No, I think the thing is Jacqueline is playing aggressive here because she's starting with black, right? She doesn't kind of have as much of a kind of luxury of like building up a board position, so she's like she's kind of all in here with kind of moving her rook into play. So I'm gonna bring Diego out. Unless you have a different idea than going up against one of Athena's pieces, because I'm all ears if there's a clever thing we can roll here. Jesse.
So I had this idea, which is we don't have a ton of time left, so that sort of is a little bit of a Gordian knot cutter thing that I was hoping, but of using my ascendance move.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Which is the underlying architecture of reality slides together and everything finally makes sense. Something about an object, something big or small, but the object will never be the same. Describe how. And I think if we just want to end this here, if you're gonna let me do this, Rich, this is a big ask, but we're right, which is right her king and another piece, say a bishop turns into to the king, the king turns into a bishop, and it's just always been that way, right? Like somehow or another, and she does it double. She's not sure how, but she kicks back and she's yeah, there's nothing weird here. The reality has been rewoven.
Wow.
Such that Jacqueline can just move into checkmate.
I love it.
Can I make a suggestion here?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the chessboard, there's the pawns and the pieces, and the queen's been building her defenses up on one side. Meanwhile, Jacqueline sent the rook in, pinning the queen to the king on this back row type thing. So not only did he rewrite kind of some sort of, as he described, that the winning piece, the queen was set in a position such that the winning piece ended up actually being Diego's piece.
Yeah.
So not only did Diego
the rook is checkmating.
Actually, yeah, and it was just this total slick back row move.
Nice. Yeah. I like that. That's cool. Okay. All right, you guys, does that sound good for you, Diego? I mean, it's your ascendance move.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% cool with that. That's cool with that.
I think Jacqueline kind of has her own moment of hesitation after this. She's like, did I just? And then she looks over to Gage to confirm, because Gage and her are neck and neck for chess knowledge.
Yeah, and Gage goes oh shit, yeah.
Checkmate, Athena.
Nice. And I think checkmate Athena is the she looks over and she very well and waves her hand, and all four of you are back again, standing in the hotel room or the hospital room. And Athena stands up from the board.
That was fun. Thanks.
Anytime, Athena.
So, you promise us protection from the other Olympians to take on this task without meddling or smiting or anything like that?
I promise that I will not allow the Olympians to interfere with you. You have a fortnight to find this raccoon that attempts to insult my pantheon.
Understood. Good game.
Good game.
I hold out my hand to shake your hand.
I don't think Athena shakes your hand. Like, she's just rude
What?
that way.
She's a cool
What?
customer.
She she kind of evaporates. She leaves you hanging.
Jeez.
I know. Athena's virgin goddess kind of thing. It's just standoffish. It's a thing.
She's intimidated by me.
Probably. Maybe. Probably not. All right. Awesome. So, yeah, Gage is okay. She's wearing a sling. Like, the next thing is they're like wheeling her out in the wheelchair. Of course, she's fussing about that, and the orderly's like, it's going to hospital policy. And then maybe Lux, he says, but you can push her out, and he allows Lux to push her out. And you guys, the valet comes back around, and your Diego, your phone starts pinging. What kind of alarms do you have set up at your workshop?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have I think that if basically there's like an alarm for if someone gets in through the door, and the windows are also alarmed, and then there's an alarm against around the anti-ghost.
Awesome.
Prototype.
So your window alarm has been triggered, and the anti-ghost thing alarm has been triggered, and the anti-ghost thing is your spirit wall is currently charging. What do you do?
Mario, how the fuck? Jody, remember how we were gonna go get the ectogas?
Yeah.
That like and we like I need. Did you ever find out where it was?
No.
The thing is like, and it shouldn't be able to like the piece isn't in that, and we got to get back to my place. Lux, let's go.
Cool. So cut to you guys driving, and we look
I
at
have
that.
divine speed.
Oh, nice.
I
Divine.
just realized that. I've had it
Yes!
all along.
Cool. So somehow you're like zipping along. This is a 16-minute trip. Now is even faster. Along the way, though, as you're going on your older model candy bar phone, Jacqueline, the count of all the souls that you saw before, the number's going down.
What's happening? Diego, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. It doesn't like I don't have all the like it's not
Where are all the dead people going?
hell, maybe heaven. Where they're not supposed to be.
You know it's more complicated than that.
Aren't you supposed to?
Elysium.
Bam! You guys are there. You know that it's just down in the basement, and every single window is emitting blinding light.
Oh no!
I reach into my bag of holding and pull out a pair of like protective eyewear, shades, and I walk in.
Diego, no, you can't go in there.
I just walk in and I'm not listening.
Cool. And Diego walks into the building, and then the whole thing disappears. It just winks.
Sweet. Thank you for that, Rich. That was wonderful.
Yes! Yay! Yay! And we'll end our session right there.
Oh man.
Whew. Cool. So let's all. It's 9 minutes till. I love to do feedback session, especially because this game's in playtest. So let's take a couple minutes just to kind of de-roll, just step away, and then anyone who would like to give me 10-15 minutes of your time, we may go a little bit over. I'd love to do roses and thorns specifically around the playtest, but also anything that we're doing in the way we played. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 52 after. Just take a couple minutes, and then we'll do our feedback. See you guys in a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, I didn't answer Alejandro about Arachne because I was in a rush and trying not to lose my own thread. But
Yeah, that's fine.
did you guys have that on the board, like saving Arachne? I think you tried to throw it in, but I wasn't. Like
I wasn't sure what was the chess.
I'm back.
So
Oh.
something. My
Hello.
computer logs out or like delays sometimes, and I thought that like I was trying to do that, but Jody said something when there was a big lag. So, and then I heard the tail end of it, and I thought that that's kind of what was going on.
So
What's the question?
Oh, just talking about what the actual wager for the chess match was, because Barnes was trying to free Arachne, but I think at the end what you'd asked for was, if I win, the Olympians don't get in our way as we try to figure this out. If I lose, then you...
Right, that was the stakes, right? That Arachne.
Yeah,
like the implication is, right, if losing gives Athena Arachne, then presumably winning
she
that
doesn't
doesn't
get
happen,
Arachne.
right?
Yeah. Though probably Arachne's just, still a spider and all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still a spider, just not...
Presumably still like
not
an object
destroyed.
of pursuit, but not part of the protection, maybe, but like at least in this particular moment, not.
Yeah. I was glad I didn't end up, wagering Gage's life. That seemed so
I would have
foolhardy.
I would have actually like tried to sway, like do some sort of roll to try to work towards. But I missed like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And that's one. I'll just go ahead and let's move into feedback for Thorn. I was hoping that it wouldn't be too much, but I feel like 5 players. I had trouble with spotlight management. I own that. I feel like some stuff got lost in conversations as I tried to bounce through, and Demigods is so powerful that it's like there's less of a necessity to necessarily like depend on others. So I feel like if I had it to do over again, I might have reconsidered about 5. I thought after a really successful last week that I was good, but I felt like some people got some short shrift during tonight's session, and I just want to say that's how I perceived it. There were moments where I felt like people were getting not enough spotlight. So that leads us off. Here's how Roses and Thorns works. We start with thorns. Thorns are critiques, missed opportunities, moments of confusion, any feedback about the rules or character creation, especially Giovanni, character creation, aspects of the game where you're like, I'm not sure what that is, or anything along those lines. And then I consider gaming not just a hobby, but also a craft. So anything from point of view of ways that I try to adjudicate or play the game, always open to critical feedback. And just in case you guys don't remember, I am the child of a Marine Corps sergeant who became a high school principal. I can take it. Don't worry. Cool. Who would like to go first on giving thorns? We start with thorns, then we go to roses.
I can start.
Go for it, Giovanni.
So I thought one of the things that I noticed, and we commented on it before, the one move that I had originally taken, Influencer, it feels like it potentially has some consent issues attached with it. Just like changing people's emotions, especially because it doesn't specify NPCs. And even if it did specify NPCs, it feels like it's kind of walking that like fine line there. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I didn't do a great job figuring out the relationship between myself and Barnes. I feel like because we had initially like looking at the tangle that we had, it was like we're like you're down to help me interfere with relationships, and we kind of spun that to like and you messed with mine and I messed with yours too, but like I feel like I came off a little too antagonistic.
I was enjoying it.
I was too. I just wanted to make sure. Like I want to make sure that because like I wasn't sure if that's where we wanted it to be at, or if it was like because I think initially the thought was like we're kind of buds, but there's that underlying tension, and then I was like, what if the tension's just like surface level too? So yeah, that was something that I don't feel like I quite hit the mark on.
I did enjoy it. I thought it was good, and I didn't think that we'd be able to really define it and then nail it. I think it was just something that we have to come out and play.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Thank you very much, Giovanni. Did you have any other thorns?
I don't think so. At least not right now.
Okay, cool. If somebody says something and you're like, "Oh yeah, me, I ditto," or I agree, feel free to jump back in if you have other details to provide. Yeah. Who would like to go next?
My thorn was accidentally nixing the skateboard moment when I introduced the Jackal Pup. That sounded so cool, and I'm sorry to have kind of accidentally rendered it.
I'm just going to tell you my headcanon had him on the skateboard.
I'm going to say I actually love the idea of that, like, bickering about, like, who's sitting where, and, like, I don't want the middle, and fine, I'll be a puppy, and, okay, if I have to sit in the car, I'll sit in the car. I loved that, like, that scene, like, was one of my favorite scenes where I felt like all of us were sort of, like, engaging with each other, and so like I'm not at all upset you nixed it. I thought like that ended up being very cool. So
all right, great.
All right, cool. Alexi, any others?
I'll pipe up if I think of another one.
Okay, great. Who'd like to go next?
Please go ahead, Bethany.
No, I just The only person I have thorns for is myself. I did not intend to be the voice of reason. That was not where I wanted to go with this character at all.
I will try to give you more opportunities to not be the voice of reason next session. Cool. Any others, Bethany?
No, not really. I am a little confused on like some of the moves, but I think it's because they're supposed to be so open that I'm like, I mean, that's really open, but I have no idea what it means.
Can you give me an example? Like of one
Ben
move
Fate, for example. Or wait, is it my Ben Fate? Yeah, Ben Fate is one. It's like a gift is supposed to be on its normal. Wait, is that it? No, actually, in retrospect, I guess Ben Fate is not that.
The way that it's
that
written,
big.
kind of broken up, it almost looks like what are you supposed to do? But once you see the boons and banes, like it helps it to kind of. I had the same thing when I played the arcane is like I didn't know what to do with the magic using thing, and then I saw oh this is exactly what I can do. It isn't packaged in the when you're going to roll dice. It's like almost from the pick list after the fact.
It's like it feels a lot like a combat move.
It's a catch-all. You can do anything you want with it. You can pull bullets out of a lady's shoulder if you wanted to.
Right.
It's kind of. I think the fictional trigger isn't very clear for Ben Fate. Like it's hard to picture what it looks like.
Right. Like what
at least when you first read the move.
And what is bending fate?
I agree. I would like to see a little bit more about temporarily bend fate to your will. I mean, it's difficult. With as many different things as you can do with the boons and banes, a fictional trigger is probably a bit of a challenge, but it would be interesting to.
Because it's kind of like unleash your powers in masks, but there it's a little. The name of the move gives you an easier like, oh, this is what my character would look like unleashing their powers.
Right.
I think too, masks pretty much defines what it does. It's like reshape your environment, overcome an obstacle, or third thing I forget.
Extend your
thing
senses.
There we go. Yeah. So like unleash your powers, like that one is firmly defined too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I enjoyed getting to use bend fate. It just like took a little like kind of thinking to figure out when it was appropriate to invoke.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. Like, well, I guess it was ascendance that I was thinking of. Like, my ascendance move makes like I'm like but I have no idea what that means, so I probably won't use it. Like I have no idea what it means beyond. I mean, it seems like just bend fate with I don't know. It's one of those that's like it's so open that I have no idea what would trigger it.
Yeah, that ascendance move is. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I will have to think about how you would actually.
Right.
Like it sounds cool. I just like and that's I guess that's sort of a general impression I've gotten with some of these moves, but I think that it might be because I've been looking at that one for a while, and that's and my impression of that one has spilled over into others, because when I'm looking at the others, I'm like, no, actually, that's not that confusing.
I feel like they're all sort of like rewrite the fiction however you like, flavored by your playbook, right?
Right. Makes sense.
But I hear what you're saying, Bethany. I'll see if we can find a way for you to use that ascendance move.
I mean, if that's what it is, if it's like rewrite fiction. If that's what it is, I was not clear that that's what it was.
I only got there from reading the other ones, right? Like I agree with you that like that one is kind of like harder to parse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the elemental ascendance move, I would love to see it be a little bit more. I don't know. It's hard because I understand the approach is that you want it to be flexible, but I always work better with examples. Like even if they're examples I won't use, just to kind of have a context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, examples would be probably good.
So the elemental, that's supposed to be like Thor, right? Like that type of character.
Maybe.
Perrin? You pick
Well,
Perrin.
honestly,
Yeah.
Percy Jackson, the protagonist of the eponymous series, is very the elemental, just with water.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bethany. Do you have any others?
No.
Okay, cool. So now it is either Jesse or Alejandro who'd like to go next.
Sure. So I want to follow up first of all on something that Gio said, because I think, and this also goes to a conversation that we were having earlier in the sidebar, a comment that Alexi made, right, about I think the Muse playbook is like a little, like the whole thing is kind of like tinkering, like sort of on the edge of that sort of consent question.
Mhm.
And in some ways, like I think it feels kind of like a Monster Hearts playbook, in that like it's it's about like pushing those buttons and manipulating those other people, and sort of like
Mhm.
figuring out what those lines of consent are and crossing them sometimes in ways that I think might be uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And like pushing on that button. And in that way, like especially the tone that we were playing with,
Mhm.
like it feels like a little bit like you did a great job, I think, like taking the other elements of the playbook to sort of like do something cool with. But mechanically, I think like a lot of those pieces are things that are going to push in like either a darker direction or like not taking consent seriously. And so like that's I think a thing to watch out for. Like it's not just that one move, right? It's the Ascendance move. There's some other things also there that are like that.
I wish I had realized that earlier on, because I would have definitely spun it to or picked the other character concept I had, because like it definitely is one of those ones where it's like it's kind of hard to play that one as intended without bringing up questions of consent.
Right. So I mean, until you mentioned it just then, it didn't cross my before. It didn't cross. But like once you said, it's like, oh, that's I think what's happening.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I don't know, like this is a little bit how like we all played, but it's also like it's I think something to watch out for, which is like a lot of the stuff around the spire feels kind of weird.
The spindle?
The spindle, sorry, not the spire, the spindle. The spindle feels kind of weird to me, in that, like, she becomes this kind of human, ends up becoming this kind of, like, human MacGuffin, right, in a weird way. And I don't, that may be partially, like, what Rich, you were doing as GM, but, like, I also think it's a little bit baked into the game. And I don't know, that's something that, like, for me always feels kind of strange, where there's like you end up like you end up like wanting to treat this character like a human being, and like ask them what they want and how they want to like handle situations, right? And but of course, like also you as the GM want to respect our agency and not like just tell us what to do. And so, like, you end up with these kinds of, like, awkward things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So you're saying that you didn't like her yellow jumpsuit for April O'Neil? Like,
right. Like, I don't know. I find that's, like, a character type that I often sort of, like, struggle with in games like this. Where I'm, it's a hard balance to strike, and it often works, but because of the way the spindle was baked into the mechanics of the game, like, it's not. It's I think just like it's something that maybe needs to be like guarded against or not if that's how you want to play.
Honestly, I'm not completely convinced the spindle is necessary.
Right.
So that's the thing I actually want to talk to Jason about.
Right. Like that's kind of where I was going. I don't know that I wanted to go quite that far, but like it feels, like the spindle. Like I don't know how much it helps, and in some ways, like it creates these sort of like awkward gameplay moments and situations. So that was sort of my
it's really insightful, Jesse. Cool. And then last but definitely not least, Alejandro.
I felt like I was pretty domineering in this game. Like I was kind of really kept jumping in a lot. I think it's kind of the nature of the character that I created, and so that's what I was trying to do. And I feel like when you say you struggled with spotlight, like making sure you shared the spotlight, I'm not sure that I helped with that. You know, I just felt like I was just really domineering and really just trying to be obnoxious. You know,
I didn't perceive that at all. Personally, I didn't
I
find
mean, you were
trying
playing
to
your character who is obnoxious, so it's hard. It's hard to do that without actually being obnoxious.
Yeah,
I thought you were
it's not
fun
a problem.
obnoxious, but
Yeah,
good.
I enjoyed what your character was doing. I don't think you were hogging the spotlight. I think it made sense you were able to do things like, you know, sneak up and pickpocket Athena while she's distracted with other stuff. Right.
yeah, Zeus's lightning bolt. That is the best thing. That
I'm
makes me
very
so
excited for us to completely misuse that in the coming session.
I was actually going to use that with my ascendance move to win the chess game. But I'm really glad that Diego got his.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Major, so that was
Cool. Alejandro, anything else?
Yeah, no. I mean, I would reiterate, like, kind of. There's just like a lot of really. This game is like loosely hanging together, and I think that we're making it work. I don't know. I don't have a fair. No. That's it.
Okay. Cool. So I do this in snake order, which means the person who went last on the critical feedback gets to go first on the roses. So roses are attaboys, attagirls, compliments to other players for good play, aspects of the game that you really enjoy, because this is a play test, or anything that you'll carry away from this particular game session with a happy feeling. Alejandro, what roses would you like to hand out?
So. I think Alexi and or I should say Jacqueline and Diego did a really great job with the chess game. I really loved that. That was really fun. Yeah, and I think that I mean, we're playing Demigods. Of course, you have to have a chess game in there. So
Yeah.
good. And Giovanni, I just want to say that no, I think I like the chemistry that's developing between our characters, and again, my issue is more me being obnoxious and not, but I'm trying to be obnoxious. You know what I mean? So
It's a fine balance. I totally get you. I'm enjoying it too. So
okay, good.
yeah.
So that's it.
Thank you, Alejandro. Next is Jesse.
All right, so like two player things I super enjoyed was I'm gonna double down on Lux and Barnes' animosity. Like I felt like that was like super like entertaining and like also like grist for story. Like it wasn't, like it pushed things forward in some cases in like valuable ways. And then I know, Bethany, you said you did not want Jody to be the voice of reason, but and I'm excited to watch the tape of next week when that collapses. But at the same time, I actually felt like those, and this is also, I guess, goes to Rich, like the way in which like you were trying to be the voice of reason while talking to the spider. Like, playing that straight was to me like awesome. You're like, what do you mean? I don't know how to weave. Whether you're gonna want me to weave, it was great. I loved it. And like so, like to Rich for giving you the opportunity and you for taking it. I thought that was great.
Yes, ditto, absolutely. Thank you, Jesse. Bethany, what roses did you have?
Yeah. So Jacqueline's bend fate. That was kind of a stroke of genius. I really liked it.
Thank you.
And Rich having Athena appear in the morgue, that was also a stroke of genius. I love that so much. It's like, okay, what awful thing is going to happen? Oh, hey, that was very unexpected and yet very appropriate.
Was that due to a botched roll?
Yep.
Yeah, I rolled like a 1 counting modifiers. So
Right.
Yeah, that was a good quick call, Rich. Yeah.
I failed on the help roll on that one too. I think is what. No, that was later. That was
a different one. But yeah.
That's when I made them chess pieces.
It was a hard move. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sorry, am I jumping my turn?
No, Bethany. I want to let Bethany finish up.
Oh no, I think he's about to say the other thing I had to say. So
no, you do it. You say it.
Oh no, yes, like your use of or your consequences for failed rolls were incredibly creative. I loved all of them.
Hey, thank you. Good, thank you, Bethany. And then Alexi.
Yeah. So hard agree on that one. Turning the other demigods into chess pieces as a consequence for their failed roll was amazing. Like a brilliant GMing moment. Roses. I think I got a rose for everybody. Just building up this kind of terrifyingly dangerous machine in Diego's lab, and then him like walking into the ghost explosion at the end. What a cool like arc within this episode. Geo, just like props for weaving into this group so well, and I really liked every time #blessed kind of came up, and just the image of the convertible is very good. Bethany and the spider, or Jody and the spider, was such a fun dynamic throughout. Very glad we got to see them as a pair, and huge props to Barnes for pickpocketing a thunderbolt from Athena. Mm-hmm. That was amazing.
Wait, you're actually a lightning thief. Like that's
oh, I didn't realize it. Nice. I can't wait to tell Jason Mills that we had a literal lightning thief in our game.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Cool. Thank you, Alexi. Giovanni, what roses did you like?
Okay, so I think I also have one for everyone. So Bethany, yes, the whole Arachne interaction was fantastic, like hands down, super good. Alexi, Jacqueline consistently had the most like raw lines ever. It was fantastic. Like just phenomenal work there. Alejandro, I loved Barnes and Lux's animosity. Like that was good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that evolves next week. And then Jesse, it's a shame to see that you're not gonna be able to join us, but that was the best like going out that anyone could ever imagine. And then Rich, like I think you did a really good job like pacing everything, and the Athena stuff was fantastic. The chess game was brilliant. Like just how you handled that, mechanically speaking, was a really good way of doing it. I'm glad it didn't come down to me because I didn't know what I was going to do in the chess game, because I was like, I can't fight for crap. So
just charm one of her pieces into turning on her.
I was going to ask, I was like, are the other chess pieces people too.
You just turn one of the white chess pieces black.
Yeah, yeah. Come join our side. So yeah, like it was a blast. Thank you for running this, Rich.
Thank you. A few roses to hand out. Alexi, thank you for drawing the other people. That's such a giving thing for you to do. It was great. You really captured their spirit, the spirit of those characters well. I love those little headshots at the top. Very, very exciting. Giovanni, stepping in quickly, making a character, that's a thing. But like the way that you masterfully integrated yourself to the group and played a character that the muse could be problematic, but I felt like you managed that very, very well. You were sensitive and thoughtful and played a super compelling character that I liked and also kind of wanted to punch, which is amazing.
That's my specialty.
Alejandro, I know you were worried about the maybe pushing too much, but I really like the way you pushed, especially the moment of like, now I'm working on Athena's side. I was like, what? It's like, it's so low key. That's so like embodying the trickster. I really enjoyed that. Bethany, the play of Jody and the conflicted of like, no, I really just want to wreck stuff, but damn it, you guys, like we need to make this smart decision. Like I could see the conflict into you of like, I know what my instincts are, but I realized that I'm not going to just give in to the instincts. And that was super duper fun. And Jesse, save you for last because I really enjoyed the Chekhov's gun that you laid early and you detailed it out. And I was like, I have to use this. Like, this is so good. It was just the juiciest, most beautiful Chekhov's gun sitting on that mantle. And thank you for that. And like his last moments were just super duper exciting. Like that was a fun way to go out. And you did a great job with it, Jesse. So hate that you're not here for next session, but you know, if you gotta go, I thought that was pretty good. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for that. That was great.
No problem. Awesome. So for 4 of you, we will see you next week. And Jesse, I'm sure we'll play other games. Thank you guys so much for playing Demigods. And if you have any other thoughts throughout the week, feel free to hit me up via email or whatever. Otherwise, we'll see you in 7 days. Thanks.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Rich.
Good to meet you.